The quadruple dream is over. Manchester City have been knocked out of the FA Cup by Chelsea. Hey guys, Fledge here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Fletch Talks video. You should know the drill by now. This is the video, of course, where I bring a trending topic or a topic of interest within the world of football. Bring it here where I throw the spotlight onto it, put it under the microscope, where we talk about it, we discuss it, may even debate a little about it as well. And of course, this video is no exception, as this video we are looking at Chelsea Football Club, who have today knocked Manchester City out of the FA Cup. Chelsea progress to the final, where we played at Wembley, and tomorrow, of course, we'll have the other semi-final between Leicester and Southampton to see who will meet the Blues in the final at the end of the season. Before we talk about this game, though, we'd like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated, of course. But for now, let's get back to talking about how Chelsea knocked Manchester City out of the FA Cup. It was a strange game in the sense that before kick-off, I imagine a lot of people, a lot of neutral fans, were probably wanting Chelsea to win. I don't think nobody wants City to have won the quadruple, and I think Chelsea picked up a lot more fans today than what they would have had prior to this game and even after this game. And obviously that's how it proved to be. Chelsea went on to win this game. The only goal of the game came in the second half from Hakim Ziyech, assisted from Timo Werner, a quick Chelsea breakaway, and Werner played through Ziyech, and he had the most simplest of finishes from close range. The game fell into a bit of a pattern for large parts of it. City enjoyed a large portion of the possession, whilst Chelsea was strong, resolute and disciplined defensively. They nullified City in the majority of key areas, whilst attempting to hit City on the counter-attack themselves. It seems to be something that people have seemed to see as a bit of a weakness. I remember when City lost to Leeds last week. I remember that Dortmund attempted to do it to City a few times over the two legs in their Champions League encounter. But overall, it worked. It worked for Chelsea. The tactical approach of Thomas Tuchel and the Blues was executed very well. City failed to really test Blues goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga. Yes, imagine that. Chelsea having Kepa in goal and City being there, not really testing what is arguably the most reliable goalkeeper in the Premier League, right? If I was there, I'd be having shots from the halfway line, I'd be having shots from my own penalty area against Kepa. But City, of course, failed to do that. They didn't really test the Spanish goalkeeper at all. And Chelsea, in a way, were fairly comfortable overall. And, you know, and definitely deserved to be victorious in this game, and definitely deserved to go on into the final. But yes, the bottom line here is that, whichever way you look at it, Chelsea are through to the FA Cup final and will face either Leicester or Southampton, with the two to clash head-to-head in tomorrow's game at Wembley in the other semi-final. And, you know, you'd probably expect that going into the final, whichever side comes out of the Leicester versus Southampton game, whoever comes out on top in that game, you'd probably expect that the Blues, whoever they face, will be going into Wembley, into the final, probably as favourites overall to go on and lift England's biggest domestic cup trophy. And, you know, like I say, the bottom line here is that Chelsea win. It's a huge win for Chelsea. The headlines, I feel, may overshadow them a little bit, and I think I'm a bit guilty of this video starting off with the quadruple dream for Manchester City is over, because that's, I think, what a lot of people will be talking about. People will be talking about how the quadruple is not to be anymore. That dream, the boat has sailed on that dream, so to speak. Chelsea have knocked City out, and that should be what we're focusing on. That we should be focusing on Chelsea, how great they were today, and how they managed to knock out Pep Guardiola's side. That's what we should be focusing on. It was a great game by Chelsea. Like I say, tactically, it was executed very well. Defensively, they were very resilient. They neutralised everything that City had possessed. They won the midfield battle. They stopped their attacking force from being a threat and a constant threat throughout the entire game. And, you know, although Chelsea did all that, whatever City did manage to conjure up, the very little that City managed to create themselves, City were poor on the day. They were very poor and they struggled to really test the goalkeeper, like I mentioned. They failed to really test the Blues' defence and just completely struggled in this game, in all honesty. And look, of course the final will be huge for Chelsea. It's a 50-50 chance at least of gaining some sort of silverware this season. Whatever your opinions are on the FA Cup, how it used to be to what it is compared as the competition of today, whatever your opinions of it, it's still silverware. It's still England's biggest domestic trophy. And, you know, it may have been a difficult season for a lot of different reasons for Chelsea. They may have performed below expectations given the money that they spent before the season started and how everyone was talking about them challenging for the title and going for this and going for that and everything in between. But at the same time, this is the FA Cup. This is England's biggest domestic trophy, like I say. It's still nothing to turn your nose up at, and it's still a worthy trophy of winning and putting that in your trophy cabinet and claiming that it's still a fairly decent season to have won this kind of competition. It's still a pretty good competition to win and a pretty decent piece of silverware. But even going further beyond this, this as just a result, this will give the Blues huge confidence going into their Champions League encounter with Real Madrid. City's arguably got the best defence in the Premier League. Arguably one of the best defences in Europe. And coming up against Real Madrid in the semi-final, who aren't exactly the same Real Madrid of several years ago in the terms that they seemed bulletproof back then. They have got weaknesses now, Real Madrid, that you are seeing, and some teams are starting to exploit, or some teams are seeing but they're not exploiting enough of. You know, they're still pretty strong, Madrid, but Chelsea beating City here will give them huge confidence going forward, further confidence that they can go on and break down a resilient Madrid defence that we saw beat Liverpool across 2 legs. And obviously then from the defence, Chelsea can then nullify the midfield area, a strong midfield area that we saw again was very effective against Liverpool, and of course silence the attacking force, which particularly in the first leg was Liverpool's downfall. Chelsea can take this game, take everything that was positive about this City win and just go for it in this Madrid game across the 2 legs and really take full confidence from it. On the other hand, for Manchester City, it's a bit of a huge reality check for them. It's a knockdown to earth for them. Like I said, the quadruple dream is over for them, but the triple is very much still on, of course. The Carabao Cup, they're still in the final of. The Premier League, they are closing in on. And the Champions League, of course, like I mentioned, they are in the semi-final of that. They face PSG. However, like Chelsea can take confidence from this game and put it into their semi-final, you have to say that PSG may be watching this game in particular and maybe are going to be taking confidence from this game themselves as they can identify City's weaknesses, mainly on the counter-attack, like what we saw from Chelsea as they tried to exploit that game plan. As we saw in the PSG-Bayern Munich game, for example, PSG are very, very dangerous on the counter-attack. And with Neymar and Kylian Mbappe within their ranks, I'm sure the French champions will be looking to exploit that particular tactic. And City will have to be wary of that and come up with a plan to stop them from exploiting that particular game plan. Will they do it or not is, of course, another matter entirely, and one question that we'll have to watch out for when, of course, the semi-finals come around. But of course, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the FA Cup semi-final game today? What do you make of Chelsea going through? What do you make of City being knocked out and having their quadruple dreams smashed? What do you make of the other semi-final to be played tomorrow between Leicester and Southampton? Who do you see winning that? Who do you see meeting Chelsea in the final? And then, of course, throw out your predictions out there as to who's going to win the FA Cup. Will it be Leicester or Southampton, or will it be Chelsea, who we now know will make up definitely 50% of that final? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, down in the comment section below. I'm sure that will make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, Thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon in another video.